I'm gonna talk about transitioning through your senior year on up to that first freshman year in college or technical school or community college, wherever you're going. Really, those who are going to colleges or technical schools, really colleges and universities and community colleges, they need money to get through there and stuff like that. I just want to talk about stuff like that. When you come in your senior year of high school, you should have already taken the ACT, in my opinion. From where I come from, it is you get free vouchers, and it's based on your. It's supposed to be based on your economic status, but the most you can get if you don't make a lot of money is two. But the from what I have seen, they don't check your background for how much money your parents make. So even if you do make above that level for the two vouchers, you can still use them because all you have to do is type in a number on the page. But my best bet is the first time you take it, just go in and see how it is. And that second time you take the ACT, which you should have taken at least in the February, I think you have one in the falls, winter, spring, summer, to take up all the seasons. I think it's every 4 months or something like that. But you should at least have one taken in the summer or the spring of your junior year, and you need one to take that fall because by your junior, like this summer after your junior year, you can start applying for colleges with the test score you have. And so when you go back and take it, if you did not get accepted into the college of your choices, um, you can still send those scores and maybe get accepted. And so when it comes to ACT, that's the first thing you really need to do before it's getting to college. Make sure your ACT score right. And when you get your ACT score, look at how it is. Look at what I need to do, what I need to work on, and there's a lot of techniques you can use. I'm gonna tell you one easy technique when you're on the ACT test that everybody should know. At the end of the ACT test, if you don't have all your answers filled in, do not just bubble in a tree on the test at the end. Bubble in one line because statistics show that you have a better chance, opportunity of getting a better score on the test. Didn't nobody tell me that. I didn't do that on my first test because I didn't think about that. So I'm putting it out there for you guys to think about. Don't just put anything at the end of your ACT test. And secondly, when it comes to getting prepared for transition to college, early admission. Go ahead and apply to all the colleges you need to apply to. If you get free or reduced lunch, you have the eligibility. You're eligible to use a free ACT voucher, so that you don't have to pay for your college, application. If you get free lunch at school, you qualify for it. Go to your counselor's offices. I know where I'm from, Mississippi. We go to our counselor's office. I don't know how education systems are set up in other places, but most of all that dealing with college, we usually go to our counselor's office. Um, I guess I can say you can start applying for scholarships. You should start applying your junior year, but if you haven't, if you're watching this and you're younger than your junior year, you can start applying during your junior year. You can start applying during your junior year, and next summer, I'm telling you, apply for at least 6 colleges. They say pick a college that you probably can't get into, and then pick the college that you have a feeling you can't get to. But they say reach. Make sure one of those colleges that you reach for that's kind of impossible for you to get in, but you can still try. You understand? Um, Again, take an ACT that fall. If you need to take your ACT that fall. Do not be irresponsible and think you can wait and try to take it February and April. You're not gonna want to do that. It's just not easy. It's not. You're gonna have a lot of stuff going on during your spring. I know some people waited so late to take the ACT. They missed prom. Some of them didn't come to prom because they had to take ACT the next morning. And then some of them had to leave prom early and couldn't enjoy the night because they had to take ACT the next morning in April. So I don't know how other people have their proms, but be careful because if your prom the day before that Friday, we usually have ours on Friday. Some people do it different. But that's just what happened. There's certain stuff going on in your senior year that you don't want to miss out on. So take tests like that you have to take early. Okay? And just apply for colleges, do community services, um, look for programs. I have a program in my area in North Mississippi, where I'm from. Um, we have a thing called Get to College, and so they have a lot of resources and stuff that you can use as a nonprofit. They come out to the schools and they do seminars and workshops, and they help students get to college. As you can say the name of it. And so they give programs, they help you with resumes, finding scholarships. They have their own scholarships. And so my advice to you is to find a program like that in your area. I don't, find a program like that that can help you. Maybe call and contact them, and maybe they can come to your school, and maybe something like that if you're trying to get to college. Okay. Furthermore, like I said, apply for schools. Do community service. Make sure you're in clubs. If you're in band, I'm a very advocate of getting in band because for some people it helps pay for college. I don't know why more students don't do it. They just don't like it. But you have to understand, everybody can't be, athletes. I know in my band program we have sent athletes on band scholarships because they couldn't get the athletic scholarships. There's so much talent out there in the athletic field. So they had to use band scholarships, and I'm telling you, there are bands out there that need musicians. Okay, they need the music because there's something about music that's well needed on campuses. So they take their band programs very seriously, and if you work hard, if you try and do it, it can pay off. I'm an advocate of music. I love music, so that's why I'm giving you that advice from my point of view. Take control of your scholarships. Make sure your last year, the best year for is your grades, because it's gonna determine your GPA and whether you qualify for certain scholarships. I'm gonna tell you like this: the first of January, they FAFSA open up. Fill that joker out and turn it in. Do not wait till your parents. When it comes down to scholarship, that plays a lot of role in your scholarships. Do not wait till your parents get their tax return back. Okay? Fill it out and do an estimate. Go based off your parents' last tax return. You understand? And then when they get their new tax return, you can go back in and change it and correct it. You understand? Because colleges need that at least in February. And my mother, I know I messed up. I tried to wait. I thought I had to wait. I didn't know I could do that. Didn't nobody tell me at my school. For some odd reason, they didn't tell us this. But you can fill it out and just put an estimate on it, and colleges will look at it and say, okay, maybe they need this scholarship. We're going to put you with this scholarship, put you with that scholarship. Then you go back in and change it to the correct information. And I'm going to tell you right now, your best bet is to get somebody else to do it. I tried doing it on my own. I messed up on certain things because I didn't pay attention to detail. If you're going to do it on your own, pay attention to detail, because I made mistakes that because I just didn't read it. I just didn't read it, and I made simple mistakes that I shouldn't have made. But I'm a teenager. I do stuff like that where we make mistakes like that where we don't pay attention to detail. So I ask that you don't be in such a hurry to do it on your own, but find a college student, an adult that's been to college or has dealt with the internet version of FAFSA, and try to get them to help you. Talk to your counselor, talk to your teachers, and sit down and tell them, can I come after school? You sit down and help me fill out this FAFSA. And get your parents, in January, get your parents' information, tax return from the year before, and just put an estimate in there. You don't have to put the real thing in there until she gets it back. Now, when she gets it back, you need to correct it so you can get the Pell Grant and all that stuff. But apply for these scholarships. There's really a big scholarship. I know the colleges I go to down here, most of the big public colleges, they give scholarships out with the financial aid called Lucky Day Scholarship, where it's just a random lottery where they just pick names out of random. I guess we in Mississippi, so it's not. It's another topic, but I guess it's random. They just pick names, and you can get a full scholarship, housing paid. You can stay in the best house you want. Wherever you want to stay, they're gonna pay for it. All 4 years. I knew a girl. She was like that. She got the Lucky Day scholarship, so she didn't have to pay. She didn't have to pay for nothing. So maybe her expenses outside of tuition and stuff like that. But and her room was paid for. I guess she gets a voucher. I don't know. But those are scholarships out there like that. So when you do your financial aid, do it early before that deadline. I don't care what you got to put on there. If you put $1 on there, do it. I'm not saying do that, but put an estimate on there. An estimate. Okay. Um, Pay your dues. Seniors, pay your dues. I know in my school, I don't know if it is everybody else's school, but I'm going based off my experience. Um, you don't graduate until you pay your dues. You can't participate in anything for um you can't participate in any activities. You can't I don't know if you can participate in homecoming or senior night or just things like that. Pay your dues. Education, the extra stuff that we didn't have to have stuff like that, you know. It was stuff added on prom. That stuff was added on. That's not really education. So there's no funding for stuff like that. It's barely funding for extracurricular activities, which that's a privilege. It's not a that's something that they have to do. But pay your dues because my experience it affected a lot of us because we were hindered on certain things because all our classmates didn't pay their dues. There's certain things we couldn't do. You know, it's certain if you be the person, be one of the people are part of the solution. They might want to do more for your class. You know, I go to some schools where they don't do nothing for their school. But the fact of the matter is, the students don't want to invest in their senior year to participate in things. You know, my sponsor, she did great things with our money. You know, and a lot of kids believed in her, so they paid. But you have to, you know, sometimes when you have sponsors that don't do the best, maybe it's time for you to step up. But I just encourage you to pay your senior dues, pay your junior dues, pay all your stuff off so that you can have a rememberable senior year. Okay? So you have good proms and good things like that. Visit college campuses. You're supposed to do this your junior and sophomore and freshman. You're supposed to visit colleges a long time ago. But where I come from in the South, poor schools, rural schools, they don't encourage us to do these things because I guess they feel we don't have the money or the resources to get there. But we can do anything or whatever we want. And a lot of kids are not encouraged and not exposed to these things. Our schools really don't take us to campuses and stuff because some of them can't go. Some of us can't go, but the school don't give us opportunity. But I encourage you, instead of buying $100 on some J's, put $100 in that gas tank and go visit some schools. I'm serious. Instead of spending money on a lot of clothes, spend money on visiting campuses. If you want to go out of state, which if you got the money to do that, do that. I don't advise that for somebody who's not that not in that middle class or that high level class, but if you want to do that, that's your option. But go and see the school you're gonna stay at. Don't just pick a school and then show up and then don't know where nothing is. You're still trying to learn how to get around the campus, you know, on orientation. Get used to that campus. Say, is this the campus I want to stay on? Is this the campus I want to live on? You know, we have that opportunity, so we need to use it to go visit these campuses. Just go to a football game, go to basketball games, do stuff like that, visit schools and see what they're like and see how their attitudes are and see how they care about their students. Are they providing programs for their students? You know, look at the programs they provide, look at the education, look at all. You have to look at the school. A lot of times don't just go to the school because your family went there, just because somebody told you to go. Do your research. Get on Google. It's not that hard. Go to these websites. Look what their programs. Look at the reviews the students give. Take in consideration all that because guess what? They're going to get your money and you want to have a decent education. And I'm going to say another thing for my African American students, for my African American kids that's watching this video. Consider HBCU. Consider HBCU. HBCU offers a education is for our culture. You go to these other schools, it may feel more diverse. It may look more diverse. But the fact of the matter is, you go out in this world, it's going to be hard for you to get into certain places and certain business when their families have established. You understand? That you understand this. When their families have established a society, a culture in that business. And so you're going to encounter certain cultures and certain societies and certain businesses, and you think that that name is going to get you somewhere just because I go to this college, this public school, this big public school. You think it's going to get you somewhere? You have to be careful. They're going to get all your money, and you're going to be left with nothing. It depends on what fields you go in. So that's why I urge you, go to HBCUs. They're not expensive, especially if you're um, a poor student. HBCUs, there's nothing wrong with them. It's just the image that people have created of them. It's just the images. And some of them I can say they're not investing in the quality of the school to get quantity. But the education is now I believe is no less than any other education of the school. That's why I say go to these schools because you can afford them. Don't go to this majority white school and pay an arm and a leg when you could have just went to a school where you could have just paid a good amount, a good amount. Look at your prices. That's why I say I just advocate HBCU, especially if you're African American. If you're white, you want to come, you can come too. I don't care. But I love my HBCUs because their purpose is to advance African Americans. It's really what it's about. Because in our country, we have a history of people holding us down and oppression and stuff like that. And we didn't have privileges as other people, but they created black colleges so that we can have the opportunity to get to places, get to jobs, and get those jobs we need to create change. You understand? So you can create networks in black colleges. But look at those colleges. I just want you to suggest. Just think about it. Think about it. Okay? Don't just turn them away for our African American kids. And so after you have looked at your colleges, it's time to make your choice. Like I said, do your research. Make your choice. My thing is try to choose as early as possible so you can get your housing out, because some schools they're overpopulated and they have waiting lists. By the grace of God, I got in a dorm that I like. So it works out. So just pray. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I'm a minister in the ministry. So I believe in prayer, and I believe prayer has worked for me. But for you guys who are still struggling, just pray. I say the ones that do believe, pray, and the ones who don't, ask for God to save you, and then you can pray. You can pray to God. But just seek good advice. Seek good advice. Talk to people. Ask them. Elder people that went to those schools. What other culture? People that recently come out of it. And the school I chose, I just love it. There's something about this school. It's different than most HBCUs. It has a different spirit than most HBCUs. It's not just your average HBCU. It's a modern school. Because it's you don't see a lot of schools like that in the HBC where they're modern, where they have contemporary things that they're doing. So I like it. I like it. I like it. It's upgraded. It's for the 21st century, so that's why I'm going. And it's not too big. It's not too small. So I just want people to prepare themselves. I just want you to be prepared. I want you to be prepared for school. I want you to be prepared because a lot of things are going to come up against you. So I think you're going to be surprised by it. But do your research. Do your research. Do your research. A lot of things are not going to work out like you thought they would. So a lot of things in my life didn't work out like I thought it would. With my band, I'm going for an audition next week for a band scholarship. And I haven't had a real band director in 2 years. But I'm still going. I'm still going to try. That's one thing about being an adult. And growing up, you have to keep pushing through even when things don't work out the way you want them to. Or the way you saw them to work out. It's even though, you might not have the grades that you should, there's still opportunity. There's still possibility. There's still a chance that you can do what you want to do. And sometimes the way you want to do it might not be always the way you have to do it. You understand? I had a friend His grades weren't the best. His ACT score wasn't the best. And he wants to go to the same school I have to go to, but he can't get accepted. So therefore, he has to go to a community college for 2 years, get his ACT score, and then come to the school, the band that our program that I want to be in. It's called the Sunny Boom of the South, the best band in the land, the #1 HBCU band, which I am trying right now to get into it. I will get into it by faith. And he wants to come, but I said, you know what? If you go to Jackson State or you go to this school and you're not prepared, and they're saying you're not prepared, you do not want to go to the school and flunk out, lose your scholarship and flunk out, because it's not easy. It's not, colleges is not easy as it is in high school. And some schools prepare their students for college, but in the black community, there are a lot of schools that are not preparing us for college because they feel that we can't learn, or they feel we're too dumb. We need to stay simple, that we can't learn when we're bored as I don't know what, and we're not interested in the stuff that they're teaching us, which they don't understand. But we have to keep trying. A lot of kids, I know a lot of kids are bored. I know a lot of kids go to school like, why are we learning Pythagorean theorem when I'm never going to use it again? I'm not going to school for that. But we force kids to learn stuff like that. You understand? So, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for what you're gonna go through. That senior year, if you've been through your senior year, prepare yourself for college. What you're gonna go through. Because it's not gonna be easy, it's not gonna be simple, but it's gonna be possible. It's gonna be possibilities in your life. I believe. I believe that you can do it. I believe that you can make it through it. And you're not gonna be perfect, you're not gonna do everything right, but you're gonna do what's right for you at that time and what you know best to do. So I pray and I believe that everything you do is going to prosper. And not only do I have to believe it, but you have to believe in yourself as well, that you can make it through those situations, those problems, those issues, and overcome them and be everything that you were made and were born to be. Okay? Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. And do the things you need to do to get to where you need to go. That's one thing we have to work on, people, is that we have to do what we have to do. We have to do what we have to do to get to where we have to go. I'm not going to keep doing something the same way expecting different results. That's insanity, people. We have to change our values. We have to change some of our morals. We have to change some of our beliefs in order to get to where we need and where we're destined and where we're promised to be. You understand? So as I say, I pray that you would discover, learn, read, challenge, challenge things. Don't just accept stuff for what they are. Somebody tell you something, ask more questions about it. Keep asking questions. They tell you something, don't just accept mediocre things. Don't just accept your lifestyle as it is. Question what you are doing. Me as a believer, I have to question what I'm doing every day. That's called dying to the flesh. I have to question my lifestyle. I have to question the decisions that I make. It's up to you as a senior in high school to find directions to get to where you need to go. So you have to do it. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to hand it to you. And you're living, especially black people, you're living in a society that is hard for people that are underdogs, that are poor, that are not privileged and not wealthy to get ahead in life, because money rules this country, which you don't know. When knowledge has a price tag on it, money rules this country. Knowledge shouldn't have a price tag on it, but it does. So that's my opinion. But I pray that all is well and that you have a great life. And God bless you. And I pray that God keeps you in everything you do. So y'all have a great year as a senior and a great life. God bless you.